Hey Ravens flock, how's it going? Happy Victory Monday. We we were able to squeak out a win against the Bengals last night, and it's simple because we have potentially the greatest kicker of all time. Justin Tucker is like he's the goat. No two ways about it. I believe he's like now 95% in kicks in fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, Sarah Ellison had a whole bunch of stats up there. He's like what 95% in the fourth quarter. Is that was like his 17th or his it was like his 17th game winning kick, and his overall accuracy rating is 91.6%. So what else? I mean, what else can you say? I mean, he's the greatest kicker, and I'm so glad he's on our side. Our defense played well. Still some things to fix. And once we got our ground game going, everything seemed to open up. And yeah, it was a pretty solid performance, but we still have some things to work out if we want to do even better against the Giants this upcoming week. So we actually got out this game pretty healthy, which is good. Ronnie didn't re-injure his ankle or anything, and we saw the left tackle by committee that I that I hinted at on Twitter. It was really more of a joke, but I guess they actually went with it, so that's good. J.K. Dobbins came out relatively healthy as well, and but we did suffer a major injury in this game, and it was to the safety who we bought in during the free agency for about 70 million, and he's been worth every penny. Marcus Williams. Now he suffered a dislocated wrist, and he's going to be out a significant amount of time. So in this episode of the training room, we're going to go inside of the training facility like we normally do, and I'm going to show you what the training staff was looking at, the X-rays they were looking at. I'm not that this isn't this isn't Marcus Williams X-ray, but it is a similar X-ray to the type of injury I believe he has, and I'm going to show you exactly which bones in his wrist that he may have dislocated. So we're going to get right to it. This is the training room and the focus this week is going to be Marcus Williams. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Beginning. Here we go. Okay, let me get my laser pointer. My tools. There we go. Laser pointer. All right, cool. Now, Marcus Williams has been a absolute stud for us. He has 3 interceptions already this season, which is great. But this injury is going to slow him down, and it's so unfortunate that he actually got injured this time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what exactly is going on with him. Now, just a quick anatomy on the wrist. See, we have 8 bones in the middle of your wrist. And you have the trapezium, the trapezoid, the capitate, the hamate, the quitrum, the pisiform, the pisiform, right on top of the triquetrum, the lunate, the lunate, and the scaphoid bone, and also the joint. And these are the 2 joints in your wrist right here. You have the radiocarpal bone because it's right here right above your radius, and also the right here you have the ulno carpal joint, and the distal radial ulnar joint because the ulna is right here. See the radius is a bit bigger than the ulna right here. And if you actually hold out your hand. So if you hold out your hand, this is your thumb side and this is your pinky side. Your radial side is your thumb side, and your pinky side is your ulnar side. So yeah, just some fun fact right there. Okay, next up, Next up, we're going to look at so yeah, these are the bones right here. Next up, we're going to look at what he may have actually hurt. Now, wrist dislocations happen when either one of the bones I just mentioned, when they rotate or they are moved out of their anatomical positions. As you can see, they all fit together like a puzzle right here. And if any pieces of this puzzle is moved out of place, then you have a wrist dislocation. And as I just showed you, this is the radiocarpal joint, which is closest to the forearm, and this is the midcarpal joint, which is closest to the hand. Now, the three, and also these are your metacarpal, your long bones in your hands that help make up your fingers. These are the metacarpal bones. See, these are your carpal bones, and these are your metacarpal bones. And of course, you may have heard of carpal tunnel, which is another injury that a lot of people get. You can get for from typing too long or doing repetitive motions too long. So yeah, that's another major thing right here. Now, the three bones that usually get hurt or usually get dislocated are the capitate bone, the lunate bone, and the scaphoid bone. So we heard yesterday that he suffered a dislocated wrist. Yeah. So now when the wrist gets dislocated like that, these bones right here, and so that means these bones right here are they get moved because of trauma, or sometimes they actually get fractured, which is not good. So the differential diagnosis that I have right here is I think the three type of dislocations that he had, it may have been a lunate location. This bone may have been dislocated, a scaffold lunate dislocation, which is most common when these two bones, the scaphoid and the lunate, are moved out of position, or a perilunate dislocation when the distal lunate row, which also includes the triquetrum bone, when these three bones, which is known as the perilunate row, the distal lunate row, or the row that's furthest away from the hand, when these three bones are rotated out of position right here. So, and all of these go under the heading of radiocarpal dislocations because they're closest to the radiocarpal joint. Now, how long will he actually be out? Now, it could go one of two ways. He could be out 2 to 4 months, and of course have a stint on the IR if they can reduce the inflammation, or even have an arthroscopic procedure to help reduce the amount of swelling, and maybe even move these back. Maybe even try to get them back in place with just a normal reduction procedure. But if they can't, and he actually needs an internal fixation procedure, then that goes to 6 to 12 months, and 9 times out of 10, he'll end up on the season-ending IR. Coach Harbaugh believes that he can return this season. And with that, I'm more inclined to believe that it's the 2 to 4 month timeline, or 4 to 12 weeks. So we should get him back later in the season, which would be good. But that would just be hoping that he can return to form, and the bones actually can get back in place with no fracturing or no soft tissue damage. So what exactly was the training staff looking at? See, the most common type of dislocation in this area is the scapholunate dislocation. Now, see, as I mentioned, it's these two bones, the scaphoid bones right here and the lunate bones right here. And also with ligament damage. You can't see it, but in between the scaphoid and the lunate bone would in this area right here is a ligament known as the scapholunate ligament. Now, you hear that term a lot, scapholunate. That refers to you take the first take the first couple of letters of scaffold and just put it in front of lunate because it's referring to this junction right here between the scaphoid and the lunate bone. So we get scaphoid lunate. So that's the type of dislocation I believe he has. And sometimes a lot of this dislocation comes with some damage to the ligament that runs in between the two bones. And that's a very important one. And that because that's right dead center in the middle of your palm. And it attaches some of the musculature to these bones right here, even to the capitate bone right here. So, yep, that's what I believe he hurt these two, and they probably when he hit trauma, they probably shifted to the left, like here, probably like shifted to the left right there, and that moves them out of the position, moved out of position. The puzzle has been disturbed, so if you need surgery, they would probably move to shift it right back to the right to get it back to where it needs to be. So that's pretty much so when Marcus went in to have x-rays done on his wrist, this is what they were looking at. They possibly said he may. I doubt it because this is a skeletal problem. He probably won't have an MRI, but if they want to see if there's any damage to the scaffold lunate ligament, they may do it. And here's a side view right here. Here's a side view right here on the thing. You can see that you can't really see. You can't really see it right here. You can see the tricretrum, the tricretrum bone. You can even see a little bit of the pistiform right here. But yeah, but this is the frontal view right here. It gives you the thing. These are the two bones that I believe that he shifted to the left, and that's will probably keep him out for a while. Okay, going to show. Didn't show. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I believe happened when Marcus Williams got hurt, and that's not good because he's going to miss a good portion of the season, and we really need him. But good thing we had Geno Stone step up, but it was a bit interesting why we didn't have Kyle Hamilton on the field to replace him, but but Geno Stone is is solid as a rock. No, no, no pun intended. But yeah, he's a very, very versatile, very solid player. So we should be in good hands, and we should not rush Marcus back. Let his wrist get back healthy, and we'll just have to just. And I know we're tired of hearing this, but next man up. But these injuries, you know, life as a Raven, unfortunately. But that is what I believe happened to Marcus Williams. Leave a like down at the bottom, smash that like button, subscribe to the new Ravens Medical channel, and follow me on Twitter at Game Medicine, where I post a lot of content. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Go Ravens.